everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Anya, and today I am going to be creating my bullet journal setup for the month of July. Now usually, since I'm a beginner at bullet journaling, I would research on what theme I could do for my monthly spread, and sometimes I get inspiration from bullet journal channels here in YouTube. There are a lot of creative ideas on the internet available. Sometimes when I search up for theme inspiration, it takes me longer to decide what to come up with, and I kind of always end up procrastinating. Since I'm kind of a lazy bullet journalist, the best thing for me is to not care what the overall look of my bullet journal is gonna be. I prefer to just do whatever feels right. Try to plan it a little bit, but just not too much that I would end up being overwhelmed with the whole process. Because I don't know, my bullet journals I think is supposed to help me become more productive, and trying to stress over what my bullet journal looks like isn't gonna help me with that, because I would end up not actually making anything. So anyway, in order for me to make my setup for July, I decided to use a random word generator. I think I'm going to do a random object generator, and that's going to be my theme. And I'm also going to be using a color palette generator to decide what the color theme for my bullet journal is going to be. I hope it turns out okay. I mean, I don't mind if it doesn't work out, but I think it's going to make things interesting for me, trying to come up with something nice using something very random, like something I'm not prepared for, and it would get my creative juices flowing. I think it's gonna be fun. So let's get started, shall we? To begin this challenge, I went ahead and googled random object generators. I've used some of these generators before whenever I'm in a creative slump, but for this challenge we'll go ahead and use perchance.org. I googled another generator for the color palette, and we're gonna be using coolers. And I've used this before to pick my palettes for my watercolor paintings. I'm hoping I won't get a weird color combination because I'm still a beginner at bullet journaling, and I have yet to figure out how to create the kind of aesthetics experienced BUJO planners make. So here we go, what are we getting? Our palette picker gave us Russian violet, dark cornflower blue, shiny shamrock, light green, and tea green. So I guess we're going for the matchbook theme with purples, blues, and greens for the color palette. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but it should be interesting. I'm not confident with the whole thing, but yeah, let's see what happens. At first I wasn't sure what a matchbook was. I mean, I might have had an idea what it was based on what I've seen in movies, but where I'm from, I think you can only get them from hotels. So I tried to look for some sort of inspiration, and I learned that there are plenty of creative matchbooks out there, and that people sometimes create art using matchboxes. Who knew? Growing up with my cousins, I only knew two uses for matchboxes. One is to keep the matches, and two is to keep the spiders you've caught to save for battle later. And that was a time before Pokemon was created. Yep, we thought of it first. Matchboxes were our Pokeballs. For my July cover page, it was pretty straightforward. I drew an open matchbook and decorated it with florals because I'm lazy. Also because I created this a day before July and I really didn't have the time to come up with some elaborate design. Plus, a matchbook was already challenging enough for a theme. Anyway, this is the longest video I've made so far, and despite me going on a safe route of creating a floral design because it was the only thing I could think of that would work well with this palette, I've really pushed myself to try to make this work. I really put effort on the details, and I was secretly crossing my fingers that the artist in me would be able to pull this off. I join a lot of bullet journal groups on social media, and I get really inspired by the monthly spreads the members share, and sometimes I also get a little insecure because my brain doesn't know where to begin to even think of those designs. And I think it's a common problem when you're a beginner and you're trying something new. You have these people who have more experience inspire you, but also make you feel self-conscious because you're not where they are yet. And maybe that's normal, but it sometimes makes me overthink what I want to create. Like the same drive that should push me to try harder to reach that level is also what creates this huge pressure on me. And a lot of that overthinking sometimes prevents me from even trying. So I guess this kind of challenge is helpful. You get a random theme and do your best with it. No pressure. I recently ordered a Himi gouache jelly cup set, but I was saving it for an unboxing review, so instead I'm using my Reeves and Cymbeline gouache paints for this video. By the way, I've been so amazed by my limelight planner while I was grading this entire setup. The paper could really take a good amount of layers of paint. I'm not sure if I've said this in my other videos, but Limelight have done so well with this product. I'm considering purchasing their sketchbook version of this. When I searched up images of matchbooks, I saw these flat matches that stood neatly next to each other. Some of them even had printed designs, so I decided to use that type of matches for my cover page. I think the color combination is going well so far for this drawing, but I realized I couldn't consistently create the exact colors from the palette, so I tried to use colors in the same color family of the theme, and well, I think it's working. It took me a really long time to finish the cover page. Since I had no idea what to put on the page next to it, I wanted to make sure that the cover looked really good. I mean, I hope it turns out good. Really crossing my fingers here that I don't mess this up. Just to make the design look fancy, I decided to use my Sakura Jelly Roll Metallic Gold pen. Also maybe, like a magpie, I just like things that sparkle. So we're almost done with the matchbook, finally. But now it's time for the background. I decided to paint leaves because they easily take up a lot of space. If you're into minimalism, you can probably stop at the matchbook. But for someone like me who's inexperienced with minimalism, as you can probably tell from my art, I cannot help but fill the page. I think the lavender accent on the leaves really complements the whole page. And this part I really enjoyed painting because I got to experiment a little. I think I might use the same palette on another painting, like a portrait. I might be able to create something interesting with it, and maybe that's for another video. But for now, here's me painting leaves on my cover page. And if you're still here, thank you so much for staying. And if you're not, maybe you could watch the rest of the video in another time. But I would really appreciate it if you could stay. I really worked hard on this. Now we're doing our month in a glance page, and it's at this point I realize how much work the matchbook theme really is. But on the brighter side, I also realized that my brush pen calligraphy has been improving, so I'll take that as a small win. For this part, I used different colored brush pens for each day of the week. I only have limited number of brush pens, so I used the ones closest to the color theme. Since we're doing a matchbook theme, of course, we need to add matches so the headers will look like matchbooks. I painted them in different colors to make them look more fun. Now that I see it, they kind of look like tiny lollipops. I mean, those are fun too, but that's not really the theme. So I'm hoping I could make them look more match-like, if that's even possible. I decorated the heathers with more leaves and flowers in the hopes that it would somehow make the lollipops look more like matches. And I think it worked, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Eventually, I got tired of the flowers and experimented with other plants. And maybe this is why I need to do this challenge. I never had a consistent design when it comes to my journal. It's always a mashup of everything I could think of. And now I have a theme to follow. So maybe that could help me create a more unified design for this month's journal spread. For the July title, I filled in the letters with flowers and leaves that I have repeatedly used for this theme. And I can't say for sure, but I think this is the first time I've ever attempted to do this. I follow a lot of calligraphers on Instagram who do this kind of lettering, and I thought it was really cool, but I've never created any art that would require me to paint letters like these. So yeah, I guess this is a first. Since I've already put a lot of effort to make this page consistent with the theme, I decided to use matchsticks to put the dates in, and I will be filling it with colors to mark the days past. I just think it adds something extra to the whole look. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. As I mentioned in one of my video updates that my schedule have gotten busier again, especially now that I've been painting and crafting more. And I really wanted a clear view of my weekly tasks and goals in one page. So I added a weeks in a glance for this month in the hopes that it would help me improve my weekly schedule. I used the matchbook header again for this spread, and the matches inside each matchbook would have the same number as the number of the week, just to mix it up a bit. I put a note section on the side just to fill up the space. And also, I need note sections on every page because I have a lot of random thoughts that I need to write down. And of course, I'm decorating the face of the matchbook because I don't want people mistaking the matches as lollipops. They are matches. My hands are just tired from drawing all of them. And I think, yeah, this is working. I mean, they do look like matchbooks now, right? Right? Tell me, they look like matchbooks. For this month's spread, I'm using a Dutch door design because I don't want to draw a calendar on every page of my weekly spread, because that would mean I would have to draw matchbooks and matches on every page, and I really don't want to at this point. I'm using these washi tapes that match the color theme to secure the edges, and I learned they make the paper feel thicker and sturdier. For my calendar, yes, I'm drawing a matchbook because yay theme, and I would be using the flat matches so I could write the dates on them as their design. Underneath my calendar, I will be putting my daily task. These are the list of things I do on a daily basis, and I sometimes need them there because I'm quite forgetful. Since I started on a Wednesday, I decided to use my sticker to fill in the extra space at the bottom and just decorated it with flowers. I will be posting more of my stickers on my Patreon page soon. The link is in the description. For only $5 a month, you will get unlimited access to all my downloadable sticker collections and printables and exclusive painting tutorials. Now let's talk about habit trackers. I don't really use them a lot, but for this month, I decided to give them another go. I'm tracking mostly things that prevent me from getting anxiety, and instead of doing a whole page, I decided to put them on each day of the week because matchbook theme. And also because I didn't think it through before I started drawing the matches, and now there's no going back. So it's day 2 of me trying to plan my bullet journal, and the bullet journalist in me just wants to give up because I've been drawing so many matches, and I should probably just keep it simple, like do a matchbox thing, but I don't think it shows that it's matchbox unless I draw the matches. I'm just gonna try to keep holding on, I guess, and try to just finish this. I'm maybe regretting it a little this challenge, but if I finish this, I probably won't do it ever again. It's hard drawing so many matches. So finally, we have our mood tracker. Now, I don't use mood trackers at all because at the end of the day, I mostly feel neutral, and I really don't like nitpicking on how I feel because I prefer to ignore those things because they would give me anxiety. But for the sake of this challenge, I decided to include one. So each matchstick represents a mood for the day. And I will be filling them in with the color choice of my feelings. I don't really need a lot of choices for moods, so I just decided to use happy, neutral, and sad. This is one of my most used journal pages, and I know I didn't include one for June since I didn't think I would have plans, but I ended up adding one. So this is the final result for this challenge, and it was really tough. I found this green craft paper and glued it next to the cover page, and I thought it worked well, especially since I had no idea what to put there. My month in a glance spread looks really cute, and I don't really care if the matches look like lollipops anymore. I'm very happy with the overall result. The pages look unified. They follow the theme and the color scheme, and I love how fun the designs look on every page. I may do this challenge again. I may not, but I definitely benefited from it. I'm really glad that I did this. that's it for my July 2020 bullet journal setup. I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was really interesting. I mean, I had fun. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please share and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon to receive notifications of my latest videos. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.